Jesse Barnes was just 17 years old when his world was turned upside down. His 15-year-old girlfriend, Cynthia Vaughn, was found stabbed to death. And Jesse was the prime suspect.
I wish I could take back time and change things. Just told them that I wasn't nowhere around. Y'all got the wrong man.
This is a perfect storm of every bad thing that can happen, and it happened to Jesse.
And soon bad turned to worse. For Jesse, being in prison was like living in hell.
I've seen guys get stabbed from a balcony and the bodies laying on the floor. And when the lights come on, you always find a body laying there with a dagger sticking out of it. Started watching my back 24/7, every day, every night. I kept one eye open.
And throughout it all, his childhood friend Mabel kept him going.
She was writing me constantly, bless her heart.
Mabel remembers watching Jesse and Cynthia playing when they were kids.
He started hanging out in our house. My family loved him, and still do.
Mabel says another man got her pregnant when she was just 14 years old.
I told Jesse about it, and he knew it wasn't his. And he took care of my child all these years.
From behind bars?
From behind bars. But after a while, Jesse told me to go on with my life.
And did you go on with your life?
No. I wrote him for 40 years.
It seemed the connection was all Jesse had, and then came a glimmer of hope. A friend told him about the Innocence Project, and he asked Mabel to send them his court papers.
What did you think when you learned the Maryland Innocence Project was going to take on Jesse's case?
Elated. I was I'm gonna jump for joy. After all this time, he was so worthy.
My sister probably would be glad for him too as well.
For 2 years, attorneys investigated and presented the court with overwhelming evidence, but a judge never ruled in Jesse's case.
He was getting older in the Maryland prison system, and we needed to do something.
So his lawyers made a deal. Soon, simple hope turned to justice for Jesse, and he was finally released from prison.
That breath of fresh air when I first got released, freedom at last, freedom at last.
But Jesse's freedom came at a high price. He was released based only on a sentencing error.
He still has the guilty conviction on his record, but the sentence was reduced down to time served.
Even Cynthia's own brother agrees.
I don't think it's fair. I think he should be vindicated from it.
Police have never solved her murder, but Jesse's friends say they have a pretty good idea.
Who do you think killed Cynthia?
My true belief is stepfather.
According to her confidants, Cynthia's stepfather had been abusing her.
She told me that her stepfather was fooling with her. And I told her, well, why don't you tell your mother? And she told me she did tell her mother.
Cynthia told Jesse about the abuse too.
She told me that her stepfather kept coming in her bedroom and molesting her. I wanted to call the police, but Cynthia told me not to.
Jesse's new attorneys say their own investigation also led them to her stepfather.
I don't think there's any doubt that Cornelius Monroe killed his stepdaughter because he was mad that she had run out that night and that he had a long history of abusing her.
The night when she was killed, she had snuck out of her house, and Cornelius was out by himself looking for Cynthia. So he's really the only person in the neighborhood that didn't have an alibi.
Jesse's attorneys tried to track Monroe down, but he died while Jesse was in prison, making it nearly impossible to determine who killed her that night. Despite that and everything that's happened to him, Jesse still feels blessed.
I just want to go home.
And now he's making up for lost time.
We got married.
That's the best day of my life.
Mabel and Jesse got married 7 months after Jesse was freed.
Your mom, a week before she passed away, she called me around to your house, and she asked me not to leave you. She made me promise never to leave you. And I am a woman of my word. And that's another reason why I stuck by you.
That too.
Even though Jesse has now finally found a new life, he's still lost a lot more than 40 years.
I lost my mom, I lost my 2 sisters. Excuse me. I lost my mom, lost my dad. You might well say I lost my whole family. Ain't nobody left but me and my 2 brothers. And it hurts. That's why I want to get out. Finally, let people know what I've been through.
For Jesse, freedom is sweet, but the taste has left him wanting more to completely clear his name from Cynthia's horrible murder. And for the man who has already received one miracle, anything is possible.
The governor, he can help me. If he can get me a acquittal, I'm an innocent man, and I want to get this sentence off my records.
I think it's such a ridiculous situation that even though so many people believe Jesse is innocent, he was released on parole, not because his conviction was overturned. I think that was done to prevent him going after the state for damages. He is still trying to clear his name, and a petition has started calling for him to be exonerated. To sign it, visit our website, crimewatchdaily.com.